The outrageously fantastic drawing competition!
Woo!
I was asked to host this competition, but nobody told me how it works, so I'm making up the rules as we go. Okay, so we've had 8 pre-registrations which works out for this system, and we have one that's extra that's registered, so we might come up with a plan as to how to incorporate 9 people into an 8 people competition. Mä puhuin äsken englantia, nyt mä puhun suomea. Mietin, että koska meillä on suomen ja englanninkielisiä osallistujia, niin on vähän selkeämpää, jos kaikki mennään englanniksi, vai onko osallistujilla sellaisia, jotka mieluummin haluaa myös suomeksi? Okay, we'll do this in English because, well, easier. And if you don't say I've talked a lot. So, first pairing. So how this works, we have a tournament style thing. 2 people come up and draw. Then we have a very scientific, shouty vote system, to which I will be a very partial judge who gets more votes than who. And if somebody has a problem with that, then I suggest organizing this with somebody else next year. And then first we have 4 rounds, then we have the semifinals, and then we have the finals. Yay! First pairing! Susanna and Gideon. So, I was asked to come up with a story for this, but it's not fun if 2 people draw the same thing, so I was thinking that we have competing stories as well as competing drawings. So, let's begin. I haven't planned any of this in advance, so this will be a great story. Okay, Susanna, you will draw a person walking into a store. And a big part of this is you design the character who will then be the main character of our ongoing story.
How many panels do I get to decide?
One drawing. So 1 panel per contestant.
This is really a cartoon comic then.
It is a comic because then we'll have like, what? 6 panels.
There's 10
winners.
the best.
Oh yes.
Easier to draw.
You might want to test it first. And I will give an arbitrary time limit. How much time do we have this whole thing?
Couple of hours?
Oh, shit!
1.5 hours?
I want to go home for that. Let's say 5 minutes to
5
talk.
minutes is good.
Okay, so Susanna, a person walks into the store and the design of the character will be very important. Gideon, with you, character is going to an amusement park. Okay, your 4 minutes begin now. And if we had planned this out better, this would be the time when music is playing.
We can sing.
You don't want me to sing. I can dance.
Do you have a phone? You can put on music.
Oh yeah, that's a fantastic idea. Planning! There's a whole DJ set there, but we don't have anybody to use it. But let's approach this actually as a sporting event. The first person has drawn a character and is now drawing a thing that's covered by the hand. And Susanna is drawing the person. Admittedly, it would be a lot easier to commentate on this if this was a sporting event. More things happen faster. I also do comics. It's very boring to watch if I draw comics. So. Not that your drawings are boring. This is
starting into comedy. Keep going. Showing it.
Oh, my comedy actually started when I got bored. I don't know. I walk into a room and everybody laughs. So fun. Okay, so an amusement park is happening. Let's try to recognize the amusement park. It seems to have a Ferris wheel, a tower, and a roller coaster. That's every amusement park I recognize. Susanna is clearly starting with a theme where somebody's late to a store, which creates drama and excitement. Remember when stores actually closed? You were busy going to a store. Now they're open all the time. Much more easy. Except if you're outside Helsingin, then shops close and it's very confusing. Like I walk in Tampere, I walk to a mall at the afternoon on Sunday. Closed. What? No. That they completely misunderstood the point of the mall. Okay, pay attention, as you are all the judges. Pay special attention to our characters, because these characters will, whichever character is selected and wins this round of the competition, is then going to be incorporated to our grand adventure. Has anybody been following the time? I don't know, but we get much more interesting drawings if they have a bit more. Your turn, it will be the pair after the next. I completely forgot to check what time it was on that. Well, actually, that's not true. I did check, but then I forgot what the time was. Start. So I'm going to say you have 30 seconds. Okay. Fair competition to everybody. Everybody gets the exact same randomness. Don't blame me, I didn't organize this. I also wasn't the one who asked me to host this. Okay, 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Drop your cakes. No, that's the Great British Bake Off. The frame is marked by the tape. Yes. So, we have a person rushing into the store that clearly says it's open, and we have a person walking into the amusement park. So now, who votes for the person rushing into a store that's clearly open? Shouty votes for the drawing of a person going into the amusement park. I say the person rushing into a store that is clearly open has won the first one. Excellent amusement park, so no shame. This is for fun and amusement. Thank you. You can now fuck off from the stage. Apparently these markers didn't really work well, so if somebody wants a memento, they're for free. Okay, this one won the first round, so the next pair is Sauli and Kaja. I'm actually going to give you the winning reference. This time I will remember to look up what the time is when I say go. So, Sauli, what happens in your case is that even though the store is clearly marked open, it is in fact closed with hilarious consequences. And Kaja, with you, the store is indeed open, but there is something extremely surprising and outrageous at the other side of the front door. And your time of about 5 minutes, unless I forget to check the clock, it starts now! Again, the commentary could be more exciting. Do patrons at the bar if you want to. If you get more drunk, then this becomes more fun. I don't drink, so it doesn't work for me, but I can dance.
You're fun already.
Kaja apparently started with drawing a panel, which is cool for comics related. It's not necessary because we only have one panel per paper, so, but it is a sign that you want to draw the attention to this box here, which works in comics. I know. I've done comics semi-professionally for 9 years. You learn these things. There's so many bottles of mineral water and I never know. I think there's one of those are mine, but I'm not going to take the risk that I take the one that is not mine. This one is new. I'm not fluid bonded with the organizer, so I'm not gonna. Okay, something unexpected and confusing is happening within the store. What is the unexpected and confusing thing? It seems to be perhaps of carnal nature. Shade your eyes. This is outrageous. I've never been to a thing that has anything appropriate. Inappropriate. Like not even 15 minutes ago. Oh, the store is closed. That actually happens sometimes. You know, you look at a thing on Google Maps and it says it's open, and then you go there and it's like, we stopped operating 3 years ago. It's very rude. Like if it says it's open in Google Maps, they should respect that. Like, which is more important, the likelihood or the Google results? You have 1 minute remaining. You can add the details that will win the audience over. It can be something lazy. It can be something unbelievable. Oh, there's a thought panel. Maybe there will be some text. An unexpected turn of events. I was not informed that being able to read was a requirement of this assignment. Now there seems to be drama. Will they think of what the thought panel will say? This was a very, very dangerous maneuver. Make a thought panel. Don't think what the dialogue will be. Oh no! What will the dialogue be?
I was hoping the joke would come, but...
That is another accurate description of my 9 years of doing recording. Like, I've often drawn, on a 3-panel comic, I've drawn 2 panels and then I was hoping that the joke would come by the time But you have 20 seconds to think of a joke. That always works. Deadlines. Deadlines are the thing that works. Humor begins with deadlines. You have 10 seconds to think of a deadline. No, a joke. You can also think of a deadline. 2, 1, time is over. We have 2 panels with dialogue. First, Kiva is closed forever and they are not welcome here. Incorporating a second character into the thing before it was supposed to be. But is that a good thing or is that going against the rules? We are all about the rules, which was well established well before this thing started. Or, in the second panel, it seems to be a store of a cardinal nature, and apparently this is not the store.
Or it's just an art exhibition.
Well, the table are kind of hanging out, so I expect that it's well, you can decide. You can decide. Which one will win? Will it be Kiva closed forever? Or is it not the store? 1.3 percentage points in the decibel meter. This is not the store. Solly for coming, an excellent and courageous choice to incorporate a second character before one was assigned. Honestly, there are no rules. Next pair will be Eva and Apil. A special rule has been incorporated. Apila wanted the deadline to be 1 minute, so Apila gets 1 minute. And Eva will get 5 minutes.
Not fair.
You asked for it.
I thought we would make like many panels, but we only make one panel. Karma.
Okay, so what has happened so far? The person is very late to a store that is clearly open, but it is an art exhibition or a porn store. Maybe we will find out when with Apila. A second character enters the scene and confronts our main character about something. And Eva, what happens in the porn store is that it is way too arousing to be there. With hilarious consequences, but please keep it appropriate to this audience, sensitive audience. Okay, Apila has 1 minute. Eva has 5 minutes. Time starts now. Apila has 40 seconds remaining. Apila has 25 seconds remaining. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, finish!
I'm saying it's a donkey so people see that it's a donkey. It's very beautiful.
Eva, meanwhile, has 3.5 minutes. And for people who are coming up later, I should probably say that Apila and I kind of know each other, so
So you can be mean to me.
I can be mean in a friendly way. I will not do that to the people who are still coming up. In which case, be very afraid. Eva has 2 minutes remaining.
Too many.
You can also
What? Let me cut it off.
you can also be finished earlier if you want. You don't have to throw the full 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so we have the character encountering another character who questions their need for abs. And in the second panel, it appears that our main character has suddenly melted. Okay,
That is quite right.
who wants some ass? Who wants to really melt? Okay, somebody said ass. That was the tiebreaker. Ass wins! Again, thank you to Eva. This is friendly. There's no shame in not winning. In fact, there's a bit of an award for winning. You don't have to do this anymore. Okay, next pair to come up. Let's put these in the right order, or the next contestants will be very confused about the flow of our stories. The next pairing is Vincent and Katrina. to admit I have terrible memory with faces and names. Which one of you is which?
I'm thinking.
Okay, yes. Thank you. Okay, so you get the panel where the new character explains what the fuck him, her, or it is, with hilarious consequences. Death of the author. And Riina, you get the panel where an alien spacecraft enters the sea. And you have at most 5 minutes, starting now. Because my jokes are laying this time in the drawing room, I will shout.
Please don't, I don't want to just hear myself.
Okay, I won't do that because
Consistency.
but it still feels weird. Every time I'm doing announcements or hosting a thing, it sounds like I'm talking so much. People might probably think that I'm so in love with my own voice that I have to keep talking all the time, but that is not the case. I want to be home asleep. Help me! Help me! Okay. Things are forming. What are the hilarious consequences this time? Are people going off model? That would be the most shameful thing. No, not really, because you decide if something is shameful or if something is exactly as it should be. Glasses. Here. Was there glasses? Yes, there was glasses.
My career was script.
Everybody's following the script. That's it. Nobody gave me the script. Ah, very clever. The alien spacecraft is in fact the ass.
Confused. How do you spell?
Oh no! Spelling error. Will that affect the judging? And will it affect the judging in a positive way? Is it a human element? You have 2 minutes remaining. You have a 1 minute remaining. Oh no! Now here's the question. I will ask the question a bit later. Because you have exactly half a minute remaining. You have a 15 seconds remaining. Five, four, three, two, one. Pencils down. All right. So we have an alien spacecraft that in fact out to be ass. And in the second one, it turns out that the creature in fact, Billy Mitchell, the person who claims to be the Donkey Kong champion. And if you understood the reference, you're a nerd! But apparently, ass beating. Is it ass beating? Yes. Yes. Ass beating, I'm the Donkey Kong champion. Emphasis on the donkey, which does not appear in the Donkey Kong, the game. So, votes for ass! Votes for ass beating! Since even the opponent voted for the ass beating. So, we move on to the semi-final. And the semi-final is between Susanna and Kaija. Welcome.
Yeah, that was like, it's coming.
Oh, have I mentioned, I have not mentioned, there are prizes in this competition. Prizes worthy of €1 monies. I'm doing this for free. Okay, the champions from our first round. Susan, in your case, indeed, the person is Billy Mitchell, and therefore, Billy Mitchell things happen. If you do not know who Billy Mitchell is,
I'm not clue.
all the better.
It's not fair.
You can decide what, and everybody in the audience, while this next round of drawing happens, if you get bored, you can Google who Billy Mitchell is and why I'm being extremely funny right now.
Billy Mitchell and what?
What?
What? It was Billy Mitchell and what?
The donkey is in fact Billy Mitchell, and extremely Billy Mitchell things happen. Kaija, in your case, the gauntlet is thrown and the challenge is accepted with very dire consequences. And since this is the semi-final and we are all bored, the round will be 2.5 minutes. And that starts now. Now everybody can Google very much and appreciate the level of my nerd reference.
My phone's out of battery.
I can't tell because that would ruin Susanna's vision for what, who, and how Billy Mitchell is, which we might all agree is even more interesting. Okay, the donkey is clearly presenting his past, or it is very unfair to comment on drawings when they're this early because you know it's hard to tell what they are, but you have a minute remaining. Okay. These extremely Billy Mitchell things are way more entertaining than what I was thinking of. You have 30 seconds remaining. You have 15 seconds remaining. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop! Okay. In Susanna's one, vote for Susanna's one. If you read up on Billy Mitchell, you will see that that is not an unfair representation. And in the second one, competition things are happening and our main character wishes Billy Mitchell was here. Vote for that. 3 equal. Billy Mitchell things. Competition things. Susanna voted for the competition thing, so it wins.
Each other.
Oh,
It's far.
well, fuck off with you guys. I don't know which one. You organized this thing. Which one won?
Oh no! It was Anneli.
It was Anneli. Okay, Anneli won. Which one of these is Anneli?
The right one.
Okay, the right one. From whose side?
Can we have like a sudden death, non-Billy Mitchell related round?
No. From this point onwards, the competition is fully Billy Mitchell.
But Anneli means ass, so
Okay, Anneli means ass. Susanna has won this round. We should have probably mentioned that the organizers of this get the full publishing rights and licenses for the finished
But
comic.
is Billy Mitchell going to sue us?
Billy Mitchell will sue us.
What if we're gonna know who the hell is Bill Mitchell?
He's a gamer.
There are many entertaining video on the YouTubes about Billy Mitchell. So, our next pairing will be Apila and Minke. As you can see, this competition is quickly falling apart, just as it should be. And it's all due to me, not in any part due to our fantabulous
We have to continue with
competitors.
this.
Okay, so in Apila's comic or panel, the question of if the heads are going in or going out, but in a way that deepens both characters.
Physically or...
I'm not saying in Minke's comic, somebody is scandalized by what is going on with the donkey, and we see the devastating consequences of that. And your 2.5 minutes begin now. Well, I think we can universally agree that this has gone off the rails in the most wonderful way possible. Oh, and derailment continues to deepen in the most entertaining and disturbing fashion. Okay, does this explain which way the person is going? That is really
It's up to the interpretation.
all right. You have 30 seconds remaining. And are we seeing the consequences? Are we seeing the direction? Are we seeing the beginnings of a greater love story than that? That is what you decide. Your time ends in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, end! Okay, so it turns out that Billy Mitchell's asshole is the portal to or out of an alternate dimension. Vote for that. In the second one, somebody has noticed what is happening and has made a scene out of it, and a crowd has formed. Vote for that. You're being very indecisive, you know that? First one. Sheer boisterousness. The second one, the sea of pooped faces. Yes.
Oh, okay. Good luck. The final round.
It is then time for the final round, and in our final, the most exhilarating face-off, the rules are once again changed. You know, they've been so well established. So, the final will be Nienke and Susanna. It is now time to present the very, very expensive prize package that this thing entails. You will get a tote bag with a face drawn by the Comics Finlandia winner, Kimmo Lust. You will also get the contents of the bag.
Can we quit our day job with that?
Yes, yes you can.
Yeah.
Theoretically, you can always quit your day job. Nothing is preventing you from doing that. You will get the festival program. The most exciting thing, the festival program has a mention of this very competition in it. You will also get a blank note paper thing, which includes a €30 gift card to Turun Sarjakuvafestivaalit. I think we all agree that these blank pages contain much more space for what? Oh, sorry. It's for Suuri Kurpitsa, not Turun Sarjakuvafestivaalit. You can try to use it at Turun Sarjakuvafestivaalit. Your mileage will vary. I probably should have probably noticed that it is for Suuri Kurpitsa from the fact that it says Suuri Kurpitsa. But that is not all. You will also get a keychain. A pony who has a weird growth on its legs. Okay, this is the final. Are you finally excited? Are you ready to start off after this? Actually, you should not, because the evening program will happen here, which you might want to be a part of. Not me, I'm fucking off home to sleep because I have to do all these kinds of stuff tomorrow as well. Not this particular thing. But in our final, the rules have changed. Turn the page sideways. Because in this one, you will need to draw not one drawing, not two drawings, but 3 panels that wrap up our story in the most coherent and interesting way. And for that, you get slightly more time than 2.5 minutes. I am fair. You will get 3 minutes. No, you get the full 5 minutes from like the beginning, which was very much complained about in the earlier parts of this program. So, you have 5 minutes.
And can we go through the story until this point?
Oh, that's great.
Yes!
Okay, the story from now on, clearly somebody doesn't want to go home. Our main character, whose name is
Victor.
Vittu. I think it was Victor. Is late for a store that is clearly open. But turns out this is not the store that Victor wanted. In fact, this is a store of the pornographic variety. In which place they encounter a possibly alien being who inquires them about wanting some abs. But then it turns out that in fact the donkey-like being is in fact Billy Mitchell, because he claims to be the Donkey Kong champion. But in his own self-absorption, he starts to poop out images of himself. And eventually, there is no more store, there is only poops that represent Billy Mitchell. Now, before we begin, does either of you still know who Billy Mitchell is?
I did it.
Okay. There might be an inherent advantage or an inherent disadvantage to the conclusion of this story. I highly recommend, after all of this is over, you're back home, you've settled in, you've paid your bills, you go on YouTube and look at the video about Billy Mitchell. If you're even a bit of a gaming nerd, you will be entertained. Okay, so the grand final, including the prize package, which I've lost now. It's up here somewhere. Begins. It begins right now. And here we are. This time the boredom is haven't listened to my things last, the full extent of 3 panels. Helsingin Sanomat might want to commission this comic later. With hilarious consequences! Now, in Inke's one, the panels get bigger the further we get into the story, which is a bold artistic choice. There is also already a direction. And in the first one, the main character, who we kind of lost in the story, wonders so what are you harvesting the Billy Mitchells for? So now a question has been thrown in. Is the donkey Billy Mitchell or only the heads Billy Mitchell? Admittedly, I did not expect to go with this Billy Mitchell joke quite this long, especially since I'm probably the only one in the room who knows this is very funny. But since this is a competition about creativity, you can imagine Billy Mitchell to be whatever you want to be, and the Billy Mitchell is still central to our story. Hopefully, the stories will also explain the meaning behind the Billy Mitchells. And for legal purposes, this story is not about the Billy Mitchell, who is known for suing a lot of people who bring up his name in weird contexts. This is a Billy Mitchell who has a connection in the way that he claims to be the Donkey Kong champion, but in this case the donkey was underlined, so it's not the game about the ape. It's a completely different game about the donkey in Donkey Kong. The well-known side character. Oh shit, I forgot you wanted to the time. Did anyone check what time it was? No, actually, this time, I know. You have 1.5 minutes remaining. In the other one of the heads is asking, is this the end? And we know this is the end because this is the grand final with the fantastic prize package. And it all gets all too exciting because in 15 seconds you have 1 minute remaining. You have 1 minute remaining. More alien spacecraft. Oh, we're in space. I like that because I'm a science fiction nerd. A twist ending. Susanna's one. You have half a minute remaining. You have 15 seconds. You have 10 seconds. You have 5 seconds. You have no seconds. Where did the store go? Don't ask! That was my Batman. And turns out that maybe it turns out that the store was the same as Facebook. I don't know. Billy Mitchell heads are nuking the planet. And Ingrid gets one of the heads wonders if this is the end. Gets overwhelmed. And Twist Ending woke up waiting for the new Donkey Kong game outside of the local GameStop, which is in fact closed! Now here comes the exciting bit. The winner of the first annual drawing competition Nuke the Planet! The GameStop is closed. My Batman impression kind of ruined it. Nienke is our grand champion. Tremendous sporting event, and I'm now presenting you with a prize. I will ask you the traditional question. How do you feel about Billy Mitchell now?